It is Monday Mailbag. Tons of questions about Emma Frost, the second Hydra team with Baron Zemo, and Drew is returning. I don't think he has a new rumor, but he does have some old rumors that may shed some light on some new characters, guys. So if you're ready for all that, find that like button and you know what to do. Let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
What is up, Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back. It is Monday, and I hope you had a great weekend. It is Monday Mailbag time, answering your questions from the Discord server. Before we get into all that, though, guys, a word from our sponsor. You want to fight some noble knights and dark wizards? Then it's time to raid! Raid has over 16 different factions, and my favorite are these guys right here, the Dark Elves, especially this guy, Kale. He is one of the champions that you could choose as your starter champion, and he is one of the best campaign clearers in the game. Smash it, baby. And they've also just added champion fragments. These are pieces of champions that you could use to summon specific champions, and they have special events going on all the time that you could get some of these champion fragments. And make sure you check out the new bazaar with these cool new rewards. And the new player logins have been extended for 270 days. Look at these rewards, guys. And as if it couldn't get any better, if you are a brand new player and you use the link in the description, in your account, for free, 100,000 free silver and the Orc Champion Death Chanter. And guys, your treasure, it's gonna be waiting for you right here, but don't wait because it's only gonna be available for the next 30 days. So good luck, and I'll see you there. And yes, thanks once again to the sponsors of this video, Raid Shadow Legends. And if you do want to check that game out, make sure you use the link in the description. Now, before we get into your questions from the Discord server, and if you do want to leave a question in the future, make sure you are a member of the Discord server and join that channel. Get your question potentially featured. But before I get into all these questions, I do want to talk about this Red Star controversy and a similar situation, how it was handled in a different game. And if you just want to jump ahead to the questions, I will leave a timestamp in this video. Normally, I don't leave timestamps, but for this one, I will, because I'm going to go on a little long. I do want to provide some context for what happened in another game. So Exos Heroes is another game that I play, and over this weekend, yesterday, in fact, they had an issue where they had a character, a featured character that was supposed to be featured at a higher drop rate. It was not for a little while. And their response to the community was that they would refund all of the premium currency that was used for that character. That was the response. This angered the community because some people opened a lot more, other people didn't open as much. So their secondary response was, hey, you guys, we're still gonna issue this refund, and we are gonna go up to 19 times. And 19 is a significant number for that game because they do have this pity system where if you open this orb or whatever this is called, if you open this thing 19 times, you are guaranteed to get this character. So up to 19 times, everybody is guaranteed to get this. So flash forward to what happened with this Red Star controversy. Similar situation, except the character was not in the orb at all. Instead of just having a different chance to be in for you to get that character, the character was not in the orb at all. And Fox, or I was almost going to say Fox next, Scopely's response to this was that they refunded the Red Star currency and they gave people guaranteed Red Stars for Emma Frost based on what level of orb you opened for her. This angered the community, as you can tell, because this was different than what Lion Games did with Exos Heroes. This was a guaranteed shot. And while this was a little overboard, the difference with what Lion Games did with Exos Heroes, it was the overboard. What they went with that was to the entire community. So basically, what any premium currency you spend towards that increased chance you get from now until that increased chance ends is going to be refunded. So basically, it's like a double your currency or something like that. So yeah, imagine if Fox Next did that. Scopely did that. I keep saying Fox Next. Imagine if they did that. All the currency that you spend during this period for Emma Frost at her increased 15% drop rate would be refunded 3 days after the event ended. Imagine if they did that. How happy the community would be. Would that be costing Scopely a lot of money? I don't know, but I know it would be generating a lot of goodwill and potentially making them a lot of money in the future. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this response. But now, timestamps, guys. Let's go to your questions from the Discord server. And of course, if you want to leave a question to potentially be featured in this in the future, in the mailbag section in the future, make sure you are in the mailbag channel on the Discord server. The link is down below. First question of the week. Could you explain to me how your giveaways work? There's only one winner. So the giveaways work, how the recent giveaways have been working is there is a link for an email list. They have been sponsored by Worldwide Nutrition. So if you leave your email on that email list, you will be entered to win that potential character. They draw that at random and they contact you through your email. That is how they've been working. There have been different winners depending on the character, and I guess in the future it will depend on the sales from this. So check out Worldwide Nutrition. Check out the link in the description, and if you want to order something like the pre-workouts or the aminos, something like that, use the code ValleyFlyin25 to get 25% off your entire order. But that's basically how they work, guys. Next question is top of the morning, Valley. What is up, brother? I'm about 35 stars away from my 5-star symbiote Spider-Man. Once the milestones are done, where do you think we will be able to get more shards for him? For symbiote Spider-Man, the milestones are done, and I think it's going to be in that milestone orb right now that Captain Marvel and Coulson are in. Now, the better question is, will one of these characters get taken out of that orb to give symbiote Spider-Man a higher chance? I am not sure. My theory, and it's a theory of a lot of people, Captain Marvel being taken out of there, and then the higher chance given to symbiote Spider-Man, the lower chance given to Coulson. I think that would be an awesome thing. Not sure if that would happen though, but that is my theory, and the theory of a lot of other people. Greetings, Valley. With Hero Brawler entering next phase with Young Avengers, me putting Captain Marvel and Shuri with symbiotes, Killmonger with the Mercs. Where can I put Black Panther? I was using him on Hero Brawler before the speed bar passive. I think you still put him with the Hero Brawlers, the AKA the Young Avengers. Use him as the 5th. I'm not sure if you're using Spider-Man for that. If you already have a decent Young Avengers, maybe mishmashing some of those other characters that you're not using that have that Avengers tag, putting them all together. But I mean, it's kind of a shame. He's a really good character. It's a shame that he really doesn't have a dominant team that could really make use of that awesome passive of his. But hopefully one day Wakanda will be back. Next question, ValleyFlyin, with so much gold spending to chase after the shards of symbiote Spider-Man and Emma Frost coming up soon, do you think it's time to increase the amount of milestones for the high roller? Cost of upgrading characters, like I feel that the high roller milestone, before I even get started, I have to wait the next day so I could put my gold into filing the milestone again. All right, so filling the milestone again. All right. I think that would be very friendly for the players. I think it would be in the players' best interest that they can collect the shards as quick as possible. Not in the best interest of Fox Next, aka Scope. I keep saying their names anyway. And not in their best interest. One of the big metrics they look at in this game is how much time you spend actually playing this game. So if you're having to log in over multiple days to get these milestones, it's more beneficial for them as far as one of the metrics that they look at. Instead of just logging in once to get these rewards. So I think it would be awesome if they did that. It would make hoarding make more sense, but I don't think it's something that is likely unless they're willing to just throw the players a bone, something for goodwill, and say, here, take this, and hopefully this will entice you to spend more money down in the future. Greetings from Detroit, Michigan. ValleyFlyin, have you thought about adding webbooks to your Discord channel so people can have your videos show up to their alliance mates automatically? So this was asked on the 4th. Interestingly, on the 4th, I think that they were added. I think Thorn added them to the Discord server. I don't really know how that works. So if you're not sure and you want to add that with your alliance, ask him on the server, tag him. He handles a lot of the behind the scenes stuff because I am not very technically sound with the Discord stuff. He's really good at that stuff. But I think they did get added at the same date you asked your question. So check out those new channels. I think that is what happened. Next question: why are the purchases cheaper in the USA? Emma Frost, $50 in the US, Australia, $80. Exchange rate doesn't convert. Why do international people get the raw pawn? I am not sure. I'm not sure if that's on Scopely's end or Apple/Android's end. I know some games they try to make it the same, but I'm not sure if they're eating that cost just to make it the same across the boards. And then some other companies just don't want to eat the cost. I'm not sure how it works. But yeah, it may be Scopely just trying to get more money from other countries. It may be an exchange rate thing. It may be something with one of the stores. I think all of them are likely scenarios, but I don't know for sure. Me again, I noticed Node 7, K7, Sledgehammer, and I'm assuming you're talking Ultimate 7, has some inconsistencies with Iron Man War Machine regarding their ultimate abilities. Sometimes they're using their ultimate immediately, but other times they're not. I find that times when they ult on the first turn is way harder to compete, and sometimes even losing a character. Having been able to one-shot this node consistently when they don't ult makes at times they do that frustrating. So I'm not familiar with that node offhand, so I'm not sure if it's the node that I do all the time. But yeah, having them ult on turn 1 would be very, very bad. So I'm not sure of the other characters in that node because I can't remember it offhand. So I'm not sure if somebody else is giving them ability energy sometimes and not giving them ability energy sometimes. I'm not sure if this is some of the randomness, some of the RNG that Cerebro talked about. I think it was last year when he talked about adding some RNG, some stat fluctuations. I'm not sure if it was actually some ability energy to certain characters getting fluctuated as well. It may have, it may not have, it may just be a bug, or it may be different difficulties. I am not sure. If you guys know, let me know in the comments, but I have not paid attention to this. But yeah, definitely if their ultimates are going off, it's definitely going to be a lot harder. So yeah, it may be intentional, it may be unintentional, but let's see if we can gather more evidence and present this to guys at Scope and see what's actually going on with this one. Greetings from Portland, Oregon, bud. I'm a free-to-play player. I dislike spending money on things that I can usually grind out. I'm currently a mid-endgame player. After having a crappy day, my 3-year-old pulled a 7 red star Emma Frost. That is awesome. That is an error siren going off, brother. Yeah, baby. All right. Tinfoil hat theory. Yeah, you should have her open it all the time. Well, it doesn't say him or her, but have your 3-year-old open it all the time. My question, do you personally think she is enough of a game changer that I should invest in her? So, well, your criteria of spending on characters is characters that you can eventually grind out. With all of these characters, eventually you're going to be able to grind her out. So from that sense, maybe not. So just kind of giving you an advance your question there. Should I invest in her War, Blitz, DD3, Arena? I've seen other content creators' videos. I'd like your opinion and how you target the game more than others. All right, so is she a good character and does she get better at 7 red stars? Yeah, she's a very, very good character. Potentially game-changing character. I'm not sure how much of a game changer she is. War, obviously, should be very good on War. Whether you use your Marauders on offense or defense, I think you have valid arguments for both, but she's going to be great in War, obviously great in Blitz. DD3, you have an argument there. She'll be great in that game mode, but I don't think she's on that required list of characters that you need to get through. Maybe there will be some people with some first-hand knowledge that get through that game mode. With her, with that says something different, but I don't think she's a required character in that game mode. And Arena, yeah, you can beat Black Order with her, but there's a lot of other teams that could beat Black Order. So for that sense, I wouldn't say that you need to spend money on her unless you wanted like an early advantage, because she will give you an early advantage. So that is valuable to you. And depending if your tolerance for that is, if you're someone that spends a little more money or someone that's more free to play, if you're someone that's on the a little more spending side, I think she is worth it to you. If you're a little more on the free to play and not spending as much, probably don't want to invest in her, because you eventually will be able to unlock her through these milestones. And who knows, once she gets out of these milestones, how you'll be able to unlock her. Next question. Big shout out from Sydney, Australia. I think I saw your mate Drew the other day.
Oh, I think I missed you, mate. You should have come over and give me a holler.
I was wondering, do you think that Scopely released Minerva as last month's login characters with extra shards thrown in, I think 55, to soften the announcement of DD4? Actually, I think that had more to do with what was going on in another game, Swaga. I think there was some issues going on with that game. There was a lot of players that were unhappy leaving that game, and I think folks over at Marvel Strike Force, the smart folks out there, are trying to entice newer players to come over, start playing this game by giving them one of the better characters that they can use to unlock Ultron. So I think that had more to do with it than DD4, but it definitely does help to soften the blow of DD4 for newer players, giving them that Ultron unlock. And I like these kind of things helping newer players to catch up. So yes, but yeah, I think it had more to do with Swaga than DD4. Greetings from Minnesota, brother. Just watch your last video. I think your boy Drew might be hinting at Iron Monk for that much needed hand rework to make Nobu great again. Anyway, keep up that Hulk smashing content, brother.
Iron Monkey, yeah. Nah, mate, I haven't heard of either of them.
Hey, ValleyFlyin, greetings from the PNW. First time asker here. I was wondering who I should take to Gear Tier 13 and then Ultimate 14. Phoenix or Emma Frost. So both are very, very good characters. But when you're talking about Gear Tier 14, you're probably talking about Dark Dimension 3. And for that, I would recommend Phoenix. I think she is one of the essential characters. Phoenix, Ebony Maw, Minerva, those are the 3 characters in the game that can do percentage-based damage. So I think Phoenix for Dark Dimension 3, which means for Gear Tier 14 is going to be the better character. Emma Frost does a lot of good things. I think she's more of a secondary character for DD3. Either of these are fine for DD2, but for DD3, actually, I think Emma Frost is going to be a little more valuable for DD2, but for DD3, which is the Gear Tier 14, which is what your question is about, I'm going to recommend Phoenix over Emma Frost, brother. Next question. Keep up the positive energy in your videos. We love it. Now that you finally unlocked Black Bolt, do I bother with my 3-star yo-yo or just put in Miss Marvel to have the full team at 7 stars? I think I would keep yo-yo in there. The reason is she may have enough focus to do what you need, especially if you take her up to level 74 and build her gear tier up. Maybe even level 75 in Gear Tier 14, depending where you are with your bio gear. Maybe she'll have enough focus to do what you want with that Inhumans team. But the main reason, Miss Marvel, Young Avengers, I would rather have 2 really, really good teams and maybe 2 solid teams, depending where the rest of your Young Avengers and depending how much focus Yo-Yo actually gets. I'd rather have 2 really solid teams than one that is okay and then one that doesn't work at all, because Young Avengers, they're not really going to work that well without Miss Marvel. So yeah, I would use Miss Marvel on Young Avengers, Yo-Yo, Inhumans. Next question. Really enjoying Emma Frost so far. When fighting Black Order in Arena, you mentioned Star-Lord along with the Marauders in place of Sabretooth. Who would you place him next to, Sinister or Frost? I guess this one's really going to depend on the fight, because Frost having more ability energy for her is going to allow you to clear more debuffs off of your team, clear more buffs off the enemies. So if that is the type of team you're running against, it's definitely going to be Frost. If there's a lot of high value targets that you could clone once, potentially twice, because of that extra energy from Star-Lord, I'm gonna say Sinister. So this one's gonna be matchup dependent, or you could just have fun with it and put them right in the middle and leave it up to the RNG gods. Say, screw it, let's see what happens. That might be the way to go, because it is a game. Yeah, ultimately it's a game. So maybe just leave it up to chance. Make it fun. The next question. What is up, brother? Hope you and your family are staying safe. Notice something weird. I can't figure out why it's happening. Decided to replace Ultron for Daredevil on Defenders, and whatever Ultron uses special, his boss uses special, triggers Punisher to assist. Am I missing something? Do you know why that happens? Keeps on smashing. Well, for that, we're gonna have to look at his passive, brother, and it's right here in the passive. If at least one city hero gained 20% chance to assist on non-attack abilities, so you're getting that with Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones. You're also getting 20% chance to assist on non-attack abilities per defender allies, so that gives you an 80% chance to get assists on non-attack abilities from his passive, even if it's Ultron. It goes up to 100% when you got Daredevil in there, but 80% chance, so yeah. It should happen most of the time, even with Ultron replacing Daredevil on that team, brother. ValleyFlyin, what is going on, dude? I started DD2 today. I made it halfway through before losing. At this rate, I'll be done with both the first and second DD2 runs before I finish the first DD1 run. What can I use to speed up the DD1 run? Why do you need to speed up DD1? The rewards aren't that great. It's some extra orange gear. When I did it, I would miss weeks at weeks at a time, because it was so invaluable. And granted, orange gear was less valuable than it is now. It's kind of valuable now, but yeah, I just made it through. It's based more on your stars rather than your gears. So just star up your characters, star up your good characters. You're gonna do that through the natural progression of the game. It's gonna be very easy to progress through Dark Dimension 1 at that point. And yeah, unless you're in a real rush for your orange gear and maybe getting to Dark Dimension 3, then I wouldn't worry about it. Just know in the back of your head that's some orange gear that you could get whenever you need it. But you're gonna get it through naturally starting up your characters, because you're gonna want to get them to 7 stars eventually. And I think with 6, you're able to put them into Dark Dimension 1. Greetings from Michigan. As a launch player, I have my ultimate roster at 7 gold. With these Blitz events, it's forced me to do more than milestones and done. What are your thoughts on a opt-out button as you get the lowest rewards possible, saving new tune charge for newer players that need them? That would be very, very awesome. And you know, this goes back to kind of what we were talking about with a previous question. I didn't touch on it too much, but I will with this one. It's that debate whether you should do more stuff that makes you more money now, and doing something like this won't make Skillfully a lot more money now, but it will generate more goodwill through the community and potentially make them more money later on, because people are more happy with the game developers, kind of like we talked about with the Emma Frost thing. But I think I would like it. Are they likely to do something like this? If they're really serious about their statement about helping newer players to catch up, because this would be a very good catch-up mechanic for newer players, then yeah, I do see them doing this. If that was mainly lip service and they say, hey, we want newer players to catch up, maybe they want it to catch up, newer players to catch up in different ways. Then we might not see this. But this is the first time something like this I've seen something like this. So maybe it hasn't gained a lot of traction because nobody's heard about it, and this is the first time it's being brought up. So I like this idea. This is good. I think it's the win, even for the folks over at Scopely, to allow newer players to catch up and get more of a foothold in the game, potentially even spend money down the road. So I think it does even benefit Scopely, and it definitely benefits newer players. Next question. Hey brother, stuck on Heroes 7-6 global. I have no Phoenix and a low shield team. I have X-Force and Colossus, but they can't beat it. Just to get through that, hella note. Any ideas? So X-Force is okay outside of war. They're really, really good at war offense. Outside of that, especially if the enemies are targeting Domino, they're not gonna be that good. If you get some good RNG and they just keep targeting Deadpool, then really Colossus is gonna struggle a little bit without Phoenix as well, because he's not having all those defense ups. Shield might be the way to go. I know when I did it back in the day, I had a decent shield team, because when I built them up from way back in the day, they were the meta team. So I did it with my shield team, and it's not the worst team to build up. They are still very good at war defense. There's a lot of counters for them, but with Coulson, they're a very strong war defense team. They still help you get through some of the regrade content, and they're a decent team, decent blitz team as well. So you might want to build up shield, but yeah, Phoenix might be the way to. Phoenix and Beast might be the way to go. That might be the quickest, depending on when Phoenix's event happens and what resources you have for shield. Random topic I'd like opinions on. If they were to rework hand, what ideas would you have? And if they added someone, who do you think it could be? So first off the bat, I have no idea who they think it'd be. I think some of you guys have mentioned Madame Gal previously in the comments, so I guess that's gonna be my answer, because I don't know too much of the shield lore. I don't even remember what I saw on the Netflix series with that, other than Madame Gal, because I do remember her. But what I would like to see if they were to have a rework, I'd like to see more of what they do. They're the ninjas, the assassins. So I'd like to see some of those kind of mechanics. Their stealth, their blinds, things like that to me, in my mind, thematically signify that's what a ninja would do. Maybe some kind of new mechanic that this is gonna assassinate this person after certain turns. That it's not new to other games, but it would be new to this game. So something like that would be cool. Like a countdown mechanic that at the end of this counter, this character dies unless you remove this debuff or something. Something like that, I think would be really cool, and it would make you have to plan with the shield. But yeah, that's what I would like to see. Anyway, what's up from New Jersey? Since they made Rescue Node Store Farmable, there are no Blitz Orb exclusive characters. Thank goodness! Could they use one of the currently unfarmable characters to fill that spot, or do you think they won't go back to that method? I hope they don't go back to that method. The problem even back then when Rescue came out, was you need that currency to play war. You need that currency to, if you're in a alliance that plays war decently, then you're going to need that currency for that. And then having to farm a character randomly through orbs is just bad. I understand a little more if you're adding characters through the Blitz store, because you're guaranteed those shards. But for later game players that play war hard, it sucks. I mean, maybe for newer players, it's not that bad, because they're opening those orbs anyway. But I don't like it. But I guess if you had to play devil's advocate, it's better than having a character unfarmable totally. So it gives you that option whether you want to use your blitz currency there or not. But yeah, I hope they don't consider that farmable ever again. Because yeah, rescue was not farmable in my opinion until she got that node in the the Nexus whatever chapter she got her node on. Hey Valley, how are you? Couple of questions. Could you arrange to have an interview with Cerebro or Zeeks like Casino used to do? Yes, they've said that publicly many times that they will do interviews if they come with them. I haven't really approached them with topics because they've provided so much topics with all the different things going on in the game, all the good, all the bad. There's so much to talk about, and it's so much easier to make a video when I'm not collabing, especially with someone formal like a Cerebro or Zeeks. It's a little easier, I think, with content creators, especially if something's not going right technically. I think they're a little more understanding. But yeah, I don't know. If there's a really good idea that you guys want to see me do with them, then I will bring it up with them. I'll make it a little more formal, a little more of a special video, kind of like we did previously. But normally it's just easier for me to make videos on my own. But yeah, they said that we can make videos with them. We just gotta reach out to them, schedule it, things like that. Also, second part of the question, I'm stuck at a fork in the road. My humans are nearly done, so I can unlock Emaw to get my Black Order team. My Mystic Controller team is ready to unlock Phoenix. Plus, I want to start DD2 for Ultron. What should I put my valuable resources into first? Black Order, X-Men, or BKT for DD2? So you're using different things. You're trying to unlock characters. You need the shards for them. You don't really need a gear. And then for DD2, you need the gear. So definitely do DD2. And then who's ever up on the rotation, if you go to the infographic section on Discord, the infographic there is who's up on the legendary rotation. Who's ever up on the legendary rotation next, farm for that character their shards, and then continue to farm the gear so that you can get characters into DD2. But yeah, don't do one or the other. Do both, and then just look at who's in the rotation. Next question. With Emma Frost, lose 10% speed. If you clone an additional Emma Frost to enemies, lose another 10% for a total of 20%, 19 or 10% or no additional loss. I have no idea. You guys probably have more time to test stuff. There's probably somebody in the audience has more time to test stuff than me. Test stuff, let us know in the comments. I'm not sure how this works. I'm not sure if this is a really good scenario you'd run across a lot, but it would be nice to know because I'm sure there are scenarios where you would run across another Emma Frost with your Sinister and you clone them and you're wondering what is going on with everybody's speed. It would be good to know. So yeah, let us know in the comments if someone figures this out. Zemo coming to the game. Second Hydra team is made, including Grenadier, who I have at 7 red star. Should I focus on Grenadier now? I think you can. With that additional line to his passive, and providing more focus to the entire team, now he actually provides something to the entire team. So even before the second Hydra team comes along with Zemo and you get them up and running, I think you can still make the argument that you can replace one of your lower red star characters on that team with Grenadier. Granted, if it's not, I think you gotta have Rival Trooper in there, and I think you need to have a tank, but maybe replacing Scientist, maybe replacing Sniper. I don't know, depending what red star level, you can make that argument now. So yeah, I think it is worth building Grenadier and then eventually putting him on that second Hydra team once that team gets built up a little more. Hey, Valley from the OKC. So 2 questions. The first one, do you think Block Party might show up every month? You know what? I was hoping it would when we first got this. You know, even at that point, if they had it show up every month, it would not break the game with the additional T4s that they're introducing into the economy. So I hope it does. I don't think it made sense that they made it a other month, every other month thing back then. So I hope it becomes a monthly thing. I also think they should add something with the training mats as well, because that's a big bottleneck, guys. But that would increase the matchmaking. Alliance War retracted to 2 or 3 time zones. That would reduce it. I'm not sure if this is more beneficial or less beneficial for players. I know in my last alliance, my goodness, it was like a 2 or 3 month span where we got bad war matchups so often. It was so bad. And then in my new alliance, I've been there 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know. We've gotten one bad matchup, which coincidentally was against one of my previous alliances. But I'm not sure how bad the alliance is across the board. Back when I was in my previous alliance, I thought it was really bad. Now I'm getting a lot of good matchups. So I'm not sure what, but I hear people complain about real bad matchups too. So It would definitely reduce it. I'm not sure if that's something they would do. Because this is a global game. There's a lot of people that play around the world. Maybe 2 might work. Maybe they could do some tests with that. Maybe test it for a couple seasons, see what the reaction to that would be. But yeah, more matchmaking was an issue that's really bad. I know it's still really bad for some players. So hopefully it becomes a little more even. I mean, every now and then you should expect a real bad punch up or bad punch down. But for the most part, if most of your matchups are good, then I'm happy with it. All right, quick question from Salt Lake City about Emma Frost. Managed to pull a 5-star Emma. Was wondering if there's a certain tactic or infographic and how hard I have to push to get her to 5 gold before the end of the milestone. I'm not sure if there's one yet. You could always check out the Discord for those. And there's other content creators that put videos in there, so you can check out other videos. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be calculating. But make sure you check out the Discord. Maybe someone there will do it. And if they do, then it will be posted there. Just watch with the weekly with you and Tony. Had you laughing a lot. That was a fun show. Keep the great work. We were laughing a lot before we recorded. We were laughing a lot after we recorded. It went on for a while. It was a fun person to talk to. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And judging by the likes, the majority of the community did as well. So yes, definitely want to have him back on. It's always a fun person to talk to. Hello from the faraway land of Texas. Where is that? I'm just kidding. For those of you that don't know, I'm living in Texas. So yeah, greetings, brother. Just pulled a 6 red star Winter Soldier. Should I be happy? Is he worth building? Yes, you should be very happy. And you should be ashamed of yourself, brother. This was written on Saturday. That's after the blog post came out. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Yes, you should be very happy. He is a very good character. What he suffered from was his speed. His speed was so slow, and his rework makes his speed a little faster, but when paired with that passive of Baron Zemo, one of the fastest characters in the game, and his damage is still very, very crazy over the top. So yes, he's going to be a very good character. Low cooldowns on his special, big damage, very high speed. He's going to be a nightmare, I think, when at least in your hands. I'm not sure how he's going to do in the AI's hands, but in a person's hands, he's going to be a nightmare for the enemies to deal with. He's very, very good character. And red stars, damagers are what you want red stars on, brothers. So yes, he's a damager. So congratulations on that. Once this rework happens, you're going to be in very good shape. All right, what is up, dude? My question is, what 2 symbiotes would you like to see in the game, and what kit should they have to synergize with the other 3 symbiotes? I'm going to talk about the kit first, because I know the kit's a little better than I know symbiotes outside of this game. As far as a kit, though, what I would like to see debuffs. They need to get some of the cleanse the debuffs off of them. That's one thing they're missing. They're very good at applying this to the enemies, removing the buffs off the enemies, but they're very bad at removing the debuffs off them. So they need someone that can do that if they were to get even stronger. And I say if they get even stronger because just the 3 symbiotes that we have in the game right now are stronger than a lot of 5-man teams, guys. So I don't even know if they need to get stronger, but yes, if we were in a hypothetical world making them stronger, getting debuffs off them would help to make them stronger. And I know a lot of people talk about maybe having more tanks for them to get a taunt. That's what they don't have. That would help them. But what I would like to see is someone that gives them even more drain. And this would make them over the top, allowing that drain outside of just raids and Dark Dimension, extending to the raids, to the war, to arena, everything. That would put this team over the top. I mean, that's already in raids, but letting it be in war and arena, blitz would make this team over the top, guys. So yeah. And as far as what characters, I don't know. You guys know the characters better than me, and I'm going by the names that I've heard. Toxin and Null. I think those are the ones. All right. Like I said, ValleyFlyin. How should I be spending my Stark tech? I mashed out everything in bio. Everything else at 14%. So here's the order that I did it in back when I did it. How should you do it? I guess it depends on what you're doing in the game right now, but this is what I did it. If there was a class of characters that I was working on, a particular team that I was working on, or that I was using in more game modes more than others, I would focus on that class and I would build it in this order: damage first, then health, then focus. After that, I would go on to other classes of characters. And then later on, I would work on resistance and armor because I think those don't have the best return for your investment. And then if there's a particular tank that I needed to have a little more resistance, I would work on that in that particular class. But yeah, damage first, then health, then focus, and then you could focus on other classes or whatever after that. But yeah, damage is the most important. What is up, brother? Greetings from Central PA. Zemo looks good. Who is the best fifth for the Hydra team, and will we see another Hydra introduced to this team? Very interesting what they could do with this Hydra team. I mean, if you look at the lore of this game, guys, it's not really the MCU. It's not really the comic book lore. It's kind of their own lore. So we could have another Hydra introduced, and it could be a character that's not a Hydra in any of these other particular characters. One character that I'm thinking could possibly be the fifth for this team is Swarm. And the reason I say that, even though he hasn't been a member of Hydra in the past, he does have ties to Nazi Germany. So does Zemo. Even though he has more ties to Sinister Six, maybe in the Marvel Strike Force universe, he doesn't have ties to Sinister Six and he has ties to Hydra. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming. But as far as who would be the best fist for someone in this game right now, I'm thinking the universal fist for all of our villains, guys, Kingpin. And before this rework was announced, I know way back in the day, people were using him on a villains team with Crossbones, Winter Soldier anyway, so he already kind of has some synergy with them. Now, with the new speed and that additional speed that Zemo's providing, the turno may not work at all. So the offense up, defense up may be so far in the future that it may be broken, but I'm assuming most people don't have a home for Kingpin anyway, so not a bad character because he's already homeless. I think all the best characters that will make this the best team will, be taking characters off other teams. So I think the best for this team is going to be Kingpin until otherwise noticed. Greetings from Wales, brother. Anyone that's played Scopely's game, WWE Champions. Interesting way they brought characters out was through a talent up event where increasing roster talent or TCP with earned points, and you can get extra points for specific upgrades. So interesting. I played this game. I don't remember how easy or how hard this was because it was way back in the day when I played this game. But I don't think I would like to see that in Strike Force because I know how valuable these resources are. I know how valuable gold is. I know how valuable these training mats are. Just to increase it for a specific event wouldn't be that fun. Here's what I would like though. If they were to add achievements and maybe not release characters that way, but have additional character shards this way after you surpass certain milestones of your TCP. I don't know, maybe not something that great, maybe like power cores or something, but yeah, I think it'd be too resource intensive to release characters like that. But for this game anyway, maybe it's really bad for that game as well. But I like interesting ways. I just don't want to be spending all my gold and training mats. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing for these milestones, but slightly different than the actual TCP. Hey brother, hope you're doing well. Black Order question: where do you think they put each character when they become farmable? Like one in Arena Store, which Blitz Store, which may get a node? When do you think those three will farmable also? Okay, so was doing some tinfoil hat theory talk with Tony Scangili, and I'm just go down to order. Call Obsidian, he's a tank for that team. He was noticing, and after this, I was like, yeah, how come I didn't notice that before? Tanks for legendary characters normally go in the Arena Store. So Call Obsidian, I'm gonna go Arena Store. Next is let's talk about the not so good character outside of this team. Those either end up in Blitz, but I'm gonna say Corvus Glaive, very good character on this team, not so good outside of this team. It's gonna end up in the Raid Store. Potential for the Blitz Store, but Raid Store is what we're gonna say for Corvus Glaive. And for Proxima Midnight, a very good character. War Store is normally where they have characters that you need for legendaries or really, really good characters. She's not needed for a legendary, but she's a good character. So I don't know if she qualifies enough for a War Store. So either she's in Raid and Corvus goes to Blitz, or Corvus is in Raid and she goes to a node or to the War Store. That's my prediction for this Black Order. And some of that I got to give a shout out to Tony Scangili for that tinfoil hatness that we were talking about, that we talked about earlier, that we talked about after the news. So that's where that came from. Anyway, got two questions. Current Ultimate 7 difficulty to trying to push into difficulty 3 soon with Minerva as my primary hero, but I'm wondering if Shuri is a better choice once you get to higher difficulty, since I hear more content creators talk about her in Ultimate 7 using Yo-Yo, Black Bolt, Thanos mods in my teams at the moment. So I don't think you should build either one. I think you should build both, especially for the high difficulty. I use Shuri, I use Minerva, I use them both on a daily basis. they both end up dying. So I think either I'm gonna have to either build them up even more, or on those days that we're really pushing for that 100%, I think I'm gonna have to refresh one of them. So I think you need to build both of those characters, brother. Minerva is very important. Shuri is very important as well. She doesn't just provide healing, she also provides that defense up, early defense ups as well. Want to get your opinion who to promote with my next silver promotion credits of 5 red stars. My top 3 available picks are Venom, Proxima, Shuri. Got my other Black Order and symbiotes at 5 red stars already. Well, you answered it in that parentheses right there, brother, because Black Order is the best team in the game right now. Symbiote's very, very good. And like I said earlier, those 3 are better than a lot of 5-man teams in the game, but I would go Black Order if it was me. My next choice would be Venom, and then Shuri would be my last choice out of those picks. Next question. Greetings from Farmersville, Texas. Greetings, brother. Hope you and your family are doing well. I have 2 questions. First is, can you make a video on placement of all of the teams? That may be a video for later this week. That doesn't have a lot of time sensitivity. And if you were watching the live stream earlier this week, I am going out of town for Thursday or Friday. So maybe a Friday video. I don't know. Maybe if I have enough time before that. First is, I read that already. Second is, what do you think having teams for both war traits, offense and defense, so we could change some of the teams around and choose which teams for offenses? What you mean choosing where we use our teams? You mean Scopely's not making that decision for us? That would be awesome. But yes, I would like that, especially for teams like the Marauders, where the AI once in a while will clone the correct character, but more often than not will just clone like a Greg or an Ultron bot or something, because yeah, the AI doesn't really know how to use Sinister properly. So yeah, it would be cool if you could use Marauders on defense, because even with most of their bonuses on war defense, even right now there still is an argument to use them on war offense. So it would be cool if they gave us some versatility. We could change around some teams. I mean, imagine Hydra as a war offense team instead of war defense team. I think that would bring some, you know what, the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm liking this, because that would bring some freshness into this game. As we're getting more and more teams added to the game, there's only so many teams that you could stack on a room, and there's only so many teams that you could use to attack. I think this would bring some freshness into the game if they had both these traits. I really like this idea. It's not the first time I heard it, but it's been around for a while, but I do like it. So thank you for bringing this up again. I like it. The more I think about it, I like both of it. Wondering if you can contact the devs and find out if they're going to do anything about training mats. The amount it takes to go from 60 to 70 is down to 70 to 80. Yes, we talked very, very ridiculous. I think that's a necessary bottleneck in the game, though. I would contact them if it's something huge, but I don't think this is a huge issue. I just think it's a normal bottleneck. If this does create like a Reddit post and gets so much traction against the community, with the community, I think the devs would have to react, but I don't think this is so egregious that it's making the game unplayable. It's just making it slower for us, which is frustrating at times. But I think that's kind of what they're going for with these slow hero grinder mechanic type games. Hey, ValleyFlyin, greetings from Spain. I've got 2 questions. DD2, Symbiote, Spider-Man, and Carnage T13. I've also got Hela, Minerva, Sinister T10. Great choices. You should be able to almost auto that with those characters. I mean, with just the Carnage, Symbiote, Spider-Man, and Hela alone, even Minerva, yeah. And Sinister at T10. Should I gear up these characters or wait for Emma Frost to pair her with Sinister? Don't know if it's a good idea to upgrade 2 characters with the same tag. So Emma's going to be the better character in this game mode, but even with that, unless you're really starved for orange gear pieces and you're really planning ahead for DD3, DD4, I would say just upgrade Sinister, and then when Emma gets here, upgrade her as well. You're not really looking to tag with these characters. You're looking at the superior unique pieces, which coincidentally, they both take that ballistic weave. So they both have the same tag and the same mini uniques. But for tier 13, you're more looking at those mini uniques than the tag. But yeah, you can build them up or you can wait. If you really are saving your resources though, I would wait for Emma. I think she's going to give you more value in this game mode and potentially more value in DD3. As for your next question, how many characters can you get to Gear 13 with DD2 rewards? No idea, brother. It was a long time ago. I'm sure it's posted somewhere on msf.gg or somewhere. Maybe it's on the Discord server somewhere, but I am not sure. If you guys know, let him know in the comments. If not, check out the link to the Discord and tags and yes, the community. I'm sure someone in the community. I was gonna say tag everybody. Don't tag everybody, but ask community. I'm sure somebody there knows. All right, and next question, guys. It is from the little old UK. It's not very little there. Notice Drew's been a little quiet recently. Only came across last week to say hi. Hasn't heard any fresh rumors. I don't think he's heard any fresh rumors either this week. I wonder if he's heard anything about an older rumor of 4 new mutant characters coming soon. Would be pretty nice if Drew would be willing to take on Gambit. I mean, there'd be fireworks if those rogue rumors for new mutant characters was true. Has he heard anything? Could you tell Alliance mate MDK that his British forefathers say hi? That would be great. All right. Yes. All right. Drew, what have you heard about Gambit? What have you heard about X-Men?
Valley, so Gambit was the original X-Men male name that I was hearing about, but it was changed to Beast at the last minute. But Gambit's name does have all kinds of flashing lights around it as far as rumors goes. Now, this next one wasn't from my main source, but I have heard multiple sources talking about those 4 mutant characters. But that's all for now, mate. It is frothy time, but don't worry, I will be back.
All right, so interesting, Drew. Even though those aren't new rumors and there's an old one, it still does have my gears turning about some potential new characters that could be upcoming. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below, guys. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. I want to thank all of you guys that submitted a question, whether it got answered or not. I do really appreciate all of your questions. If you do want to submit a question to potentially get featured in this video that we do every single week, make sure you are a member of the Discord. The link is down below, and check out that channel. Find that channel that says Mailbag channel and ask your question there, guys. And check out the links for Raid Shadow Legends. They did sponsor this video, so big shout out to those guys. And check me out on social media. Make sure you do all the good stuff, guys. Subscribe, like, smash on that button, and I will see you in the next video. Give me a Hulk fist bump before you go. ValleyFlyin out.